Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another day of Risen Esports. I am excited to be here once again, joined by my girl Bexon. Bexon, how are you doing this wonderful Monday afternoon?
I'm pretty good. It is very hot outside, so I'm hoping we're going to catch some heat in these games as well. Oh, that's a nice pun for you there here on this Monday afternoon.
Well, we got ourselves a very exciting matchup. It is going to be Kind Internet Boys versus Fart Esports. Now, me personally, I'm a little more familiar with Fart Esports. We've seen them play a couple times. Very exciting team, very funny
Mhm.
name. Always bring a good smile to our faces, but I'm excited to see what they come out with today. Bex, and you got any thoughts on these two teams?
Oh, this is going to be a really fun one, largely because the Kind Internet Boys were so dominant regular season, 5-1, right? Just all across the board, really well done. A lot of their players are constantly in the top three in terms of their positions. And then Fart Esports really came back swinging in a way that I think, at least for me, was unexpected. And putting in Shia LaBeouf here into the ADC role, I think really has leveled up their play. So I think this could be a close one. While, yes, the Internet Boys went maybe we're not so kind during this regular season. I think they're really going to face a challenge here with Fart Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. It is now at the same time, Fart Esports, like you said, getting shy in that ADC role just really seems to be kind of an upgrade for their team. So expecting big things from them, expect them to continue to do well. They've done so well in this season so far. But we are in the quarterfinals. This is the playoffs, so this does mean if you have made it here, you are a good enough team to make it here. So I'm expecting Kind Internet Boys to at least give them a run for their money. But I have to assume that Fart. It's so weird saying that name over and over again during the
It
cast, but
really
nonetheless, we're gonna
is.
try to say it with a straight face. They
No.
do believe to be the favorites in this matchup, and we got some fun bans coming out. One that I do not like to see is the Way, one of my favorite champions to watch, but nonetheless, Way off the field. Silas, a champion I absolutely hate because I'm a mid laner, also looks like he might be getting a ban.
Yeah, I do think the Roomba Fiesta 36 Sweaters matchup, which is the mid lane matchup here for both these teams, is going to be really fantastic to watch. I think both players are so talented, and I think it's going to be really fun. I'm hoping for some aggressive plays, but we'll see. And it does look like Caitlyn here is picked up first for the Kind Internet Boys. Blind ADC pick, which is also, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but also, that's just the meta now. As an ADC
Yeah,
player, I'm like, I love counter pick, but also I totally understand that maybe you need to save that for something
yeah,
like top
not
lane, I
as important.
guess.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to get that. You want to get those soul lanes countered. And also, Caitlyn, a really solid just first pick ADC. She has that range to pretty much beat out any other ADC, so able to poke from distance. Doesn't have a ton of very strong counters that can really put her in her place. Always seems to get going eventually during the game. And it looks like Volibear is going to get selected, so possibly not saving their top laner here. Fart Esports, though, that being said, they pick some weird champions in some weird places. We really have no idea where Volibear is actually going until we see a few more picks.
Yeah, not as bad as the Glizzy Gluckers, thankfully. We'll at least have some semblance of an idea. The
That's right.
Volibear's probably going jungle or top. I could say that with fair certainty. Mel here picked up as well. Again, kind of a flex pick, though she is played, I think, really frequently right now in an APC role. I vaguely recall, I do believe she's been played in MSI. Someone's going to correct me if that's not the case, but I vaguely recall talking with someone about Mel in an APC role recently. I'm sure I'm going to get a DM from Ozzy any minute now about whether or not that's true. My co-caster for franchise, for those of you who don't know, who also does a lot of work for Titan. But so far, I like this look here out of Fart. I like the CC. And then for Caitlyn, she's, got a little bit of lack of mobility, so that's going to be fun to capitalize on. Malzahar, the response here from the Kind Internet Boys, which does lead me to believe that they think that's a Mel mid lane. Malzahar
Yeah,
counter there for
absolutely
that mid lane
solid counter.
pickup. But,
Cannot
ooh,
reflect
I
that
love
nether
it.
grass. It'd be interesting if you could, but
That
Mel
would
can
be
already reflect
horrifying.
enough. She doesn't need any more. She doesn't need any
Don't,
more abilities
don't,
that she can
don't say
stop
that.
because it's already too much.
Riot's listening.
Enough
They're
is
going to add
enough.
it.
And it
Don't say
looks like
it.
they might be picking up their super tank, one of the tankiest champions in the game, one of my favorite champions as well, Sion. Just such interesting play styles with this champion. Doesn't necessarily need to get kills, doesn't even need to stay alive, just
Nope.
needs to be around CS and get some minions, get that extra health, and eventually he becomes a tank. And speaking of people that can take out tanks, Smolder getting hovered as a possible ADC that would mainly be a Mel mid or Mel support. I mean, like you said, Mel's a versatile champion right now.
Yeah, and Fart, like you said, does like to be a little bit loosey-goosey, but since it is quarterfinals, I do expect to see something a little bit more serious out of them, right? Because this is it. There's no more chances. There's no lower bracket to play through. You either win here or you go home more
That's
than
it.
you
The
already
winner go
are.
home.
Right.
And
So
Smolder getting
Smolder
an
here
early pick.
locked
It
in.
is
Ooh,
fearless, so Smolder not going to see
yeah.
another appearance. Smolder is such a pick or ban, I feel like, right now. Still, they did nerf him, but he is still that ticking time bomb champion. It's just a matter of time. Once he gets those 225 stacks, it is just such a buff for his champion. Really hurts your team. Really able to cut down those health bars. And we are going to continue with our next set of bans. Looks like some teams are focusing on supports as
Mm.
Milio takes the first ban.
Yeah, it does make sense. Melio is still in a great place, and the sustain that you can get from Melio with the not just shielding but also healing, which is a little bit unusual. Sometimes you get one or the other with supports, and Melio does both and also has nice cleanse, which if you're playing ML is really nice to have if you're the other team. So not terribly shocking to see that banned away here. Also, you know, Pegasus Knights is a fantastic support. I think for me, Pegasus Knights might be my favorite support of the league. Hot take. So I'm not surprised to see the Melio band out here. We do have another jungle hover, another hot pick here for the Kind Internet Boys. The Nocturne is in fact banned away, which I'm a little sad about. I love seeing Justino on a Nocturne, but that's okay. It's all right. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see it
Looking
another
at the Stomp,
time.
Nocturne would have been a great pick against them. So not a
Mm.
not a bad idea banning that out. Does well into Mel, does
Two
well into
support
Smolder.
bans.
And Aurel gonna get banned. So
Ooh.
like we said, lots of supports out of the last
Yeah.
four, three of them being support champions. They are under the impression that Mel is gonna be a mid laner. And we're gonna see if that's accurate as the final four picks underway with game number one. Let's see how they round out their comps. I'm already
Yeah.
liking Fart Esports. I really like Mel. I really like Smolder. And they're going to grab
Ooh.
themselves another somewhat newer champion with Set. At least according to me, when I started playing Set, definitely came out after.
Hey, League Classics coming out. You can have
That's
exactly
right. We
as
go,
you
you go
remember
back
it,
to the old school, folks. Yeah.
Exactly. With like what, 50 champs, I think is what they had, something
Anyone
like that.
after Aphelios for me is new.
Oh,
Still,
okay. So
still,
that's
still think of it
yeah.
new. So I've been playing for a while, but I got a few champions that I consider classics.
I'm trying to remember what when I first started playing what the newest champion was, and I believe it was someone who, if I said it, would absolutely date me. So I'm not going to do that. Bard
Oh,
here
see,
is picked
that's
up
a
by the
lot of you
kind
remember.
of
They're very. That's
boys.
what I came into the game as Aphelios was coming out, and everyone
I
was
think
complaining
Saya
about his.
Rakan had just come out.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Azaya Khan. Great combo. They
So
came out together, I
yeah.
think.
Yes, and Zaya is definitely one of my mains, so I love to play her. I love to see her.
Yeah.
And Bard here is picked up, which is all right. Controversial opinion. I know that Bard is super meta, and I know that people love playing Bard. I mean, I do know for a fact that Bard has been played in MSI, right? But carry a
Yeah.
Bard is a specific flavor of Bard. Okay. I don't love Bard all of the time because I think he is really hard to capitalize on, and it's so dangerous to leave your ADC alone and go on those magical journeys that make Bard so fantastic. I do have faith in Pegasus Knights, so I will let myself be wrong in this case, but Wukong here is going to round out the Kind Internet Boys, and that is a interesting team comp. I do like the flavor here from Candy.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be either Wukong, possibly a Scion jungle, but nonetheless, they got themselves their final champ, and then it is Leona. So that is going to be a Mel. Looks like Kind Boys are right, assuming a Mel mid lane, because Leona gets selected to help out that Smolder. And we are going to get some role confirmations by our producers to find out exactly what Kind Internet Boys is doing. I would assume Wukong jungle. That being said, right now, especially right now in the current meta, it seems like a lot of top laners able to enter that jungle role pretty easily. So we'll see if that's the case. But nonetheless, some exciting comps here. You guys can get your predictions ready as well. You can see the two teams. Game number one is about to commence.
Spend your internet points.
Then your internet points prediction is going live, folks. So you guys can see the two squads, see where these guys are going, and you can see the positions as well on screen. It is going to be a Wukong in the jungle, and it looks like it's going to be a Smolder mid and a Mel bot. So a little bit of a mix-up there. Not unheard of, honestly. I don't think Smolder's a bad mid laner. He could use the help of his support, but he gets a little bit extra levels being in the lane alone. He does have that escape as well. So fun matchups here, fun comps right here. Fart Esports, Kind Internet Boys, quarterfinal, game number one. I am excited.
I am also excited. I think that This is going to be a really fantastic matchup. I think that for me, all of my eyes, all two of them, are going to be located here in the mid lane and also with the jungle. I think the Justino Dodo Bobby matchup is also going to be so spectacular. Obviously, top lane is always going to be duking it out, so that's I think to be expected, right? I mean, even Set is like
Yeah.
punching is his whole thing. So for me, I'm very excited to see how these teams are going to play macro. I'm really excited to see how Pegasus Knights is going to play this Bard, and I did get confirmation that Mel has been played as APC. So.
So Mel,
I called it.
gonna be the APC. Absolutely
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Guys, put your predictions in. I am excited. Hopefully you are too. We are going to get these final picks in the system. We are going to get this game kicked off. You guys get ready for some fun. Do not go anywhere. Risen Esports game number 1 coming up.
Join the madness when the curtain falls. Risk it all, hold nothing back. Seize the day, we must attack. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the last light. Can we bring to fall the giants? 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 We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is time. Game number 1, Risen Esports already kicking off. We got action starting right away. A little mid lane fiesta, a little auto attacks by Malzahar. And I am excited. Some good looking comps, some good looking players, hopefully some good action. Bexon, you ready for this game?
I am so ready for this game. I love finals. I love the tension. I love the pressure that both teams are under. I think that it really brings out the best or the worst in a team, right? Also, Bizahar, top 10 skin of all time. I love Bizahar. I don't know why. I don't even play Malzahar that much.
That's right.
My God,
we got a lot less going on than last Monday as far as just one match we got to watch. I think we have time to do ourselves our skin pick'ems. Bexon, you have been absolutely phenomenal so far. According to the skins, who do you got this game?
Okay, well, top lane, Set wins that. That's a nice Wukong. I think it's just because Scion skins are kind of boring to me. I do think the Wukong skin is better than the Volibear. Bizahar wins all the time, every time, right? In the bot lane, though, I mean, for part esports have 2 basic skins, and for me, that's a real sad thing. And that's one of the good scary Caitlyn skins. So yeah, skin game, win game, K&D. You heard it here first.
Well, there you go, folks. We got our skin pick'ems. I'm excited to see if it lives up. And some basic early action here as once we, as expected, Set and Scion having themselves a nice little fun game of punch face as they just lower each other's health bar, but neither one expecting to get that first blood.
Yeah, I think this
and a good dive by Leona. Mel follows up with the stun. First blood, and the damage is instant onto Caitlyn. Did not have much time. Level 2 Mel, watch out. That was a lot of damage quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what you want to see from this bot side. We had a short conversation before we got into game about how I was not hallucinating. The Mel APC pick has been played in MSI. It has been used to bait out and played into Caitlyn Bard comps by TL. So, I mean, granted, this is not TL, but I think this exactly indicates why you want to play a little bit of a Mel in the bot lane, especially into a Caitlyn Bard, where they can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, a little replay there, and that can barely catch it. It happened so fast. Just when you get hit by all of those little projectiles that Mel has on her Q, it is just so deadly. It is a ton of things that Mel purposely stepping up into the trap so she can reflect the headshot. God, that champion, it can be so annoying to go against.
Yeah, and Coke Monkey is really good on Leona. I think that usually he has really good ability to identify what are the right times to Zenith played in and to really get onto that back line. And Trackman Enjoyer, honestly, was a little too far forward. And unfortunately, when you're playing into Leona, that means you got to pay the consequences. The Leona tax.
Leona absolutely able to punish you for your mistakes. Did a great job there and has that stun ready to go. So Coke Monkey having a great start to this game as support. And Bard and Caitlyn on their back foot as they're starting to lose CS, and they're just getting pushed back. They got that wave frozen on them. It is tough right now. And Caitlyn Leona walk up. Meanwhile, Set, once again, the punch face has the Volibear coming top to help. He's going to start that engage. Set with the Haymaker, not going to land the flash away. But Volibear has the follow. The stun lands, but I think Scion has the tankiness to get out, especially with the Wukong coming to help out. The clone jumping forward. A lot of damage onto the Volibear right now. And he might be in trouble. The shield is there, but Volibear does not get it in time. Volibear goes down. 1-1. Kind Internet Boys is there, but Set finds the opportunity, takes down the low health Scion. He has to run away now from the Wukong. Does he have enough? The Haymaker finds the shield. Not big enough shield as he goes down as well. 2-2 start to this game. And a great little scuffle in the top lane.
That was very close to being absolutely disastrous for K&D. I'll wait a moment, because that doesn't look very good either.
Monkey diving in once again. Big damage onto the Caitlyn. Makes it out just by a sliver. And Leona unable to pick up that kill. Mel providing what damage she can, but she's going to flash forward. Looking for the stun on a Bard. A quick sidestep by Pegasus leaves them alive.
Yeah, honestly, Trackpad is so lucky that Shia was so far behind and did not have flash available, because that was certain death there for the Caitlyn. But in the top lane, Gordon very nearly died to Dodo Bobby in that bush, while Justino, I think, thought that, you know, they may have had it in hand. So well played by K&D, managing to get 2 kills for the 1 on that top side, and also managing to avoid a death there on the bot side. But it's looking very scary here. We're only 5 minutes in, and already Far Esports is showing the level of aggression we've come to expect for them, especially with this new team composition. I mean, bot lane here is just oppressive right here
Yeah,
between
yeah,
Mel
already
and
16
Leona.
CS lead. 1-0
Yeah.
Mel. I think that's only going to get bigger as the game goes on, but you got to give the Kind Internet boys a good job. I mean, they're holding on. They're still tied kill lead, tied gold lead, so they are holding steady right now in the early game. However, late game with the Mel, Smolder, Volibear, it might be a little bit Fart Esports favored.
True. It's one of those where you said this during draft, that there's like this ticking time bomb, right? When you're playing into a smolder, that eventually it will be smoldering time, and you have to be aware of that win condition. So you need to be the one to pressure for an earlier win, right? Obviously, playing into a late game smolder does not automatically equal a win, but it means it's a lot harder to get there. I mean, smoldering time, I think all of us live in fear of smoldering time,
and
right?
I'm not sure that Malzahar is the right champion to provide that pressure against Smolder. If anything, he's going to give him extra stacks with all of these minions. So I personally love playing a stacking champion against a Malzahar, Veigar, Nasus, anyone that can use those extra minions to their advantage. So Smolder might actually get his stacks faster. He's doing a great job CSing right now. Highest CS on the team. So 36 sweaters, just biding his time, waiting to get big.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So not only do you have this late game pressure, but also the Malzahar pick was interesting. It makes me wonder if they want Roomba Fiesta to play a specific way later, if they're really hoping that especially that Nethergrass can provide a level of CC. Unsure.
And damage here under tower. Mel finds the auto attack. Down goes Caitlyn. And she gets the golden eclipse, but doesn't need to use it. It looks like Caitlyn does not have enough HP without it. And a fight continues as Bard taking a big hit right now. But Leona diving in. Here comes Volibear as well. Big CC, the Stormbreaker, but Volibear disables the tower. Down goes the Bard. And the red team take a 4-2 lead. Fart Esports showing their aggression.
Yeah, like I said, Coke Monkey on this Leona is honestly just disgusting. Fantastic Zenith Braids. Finding people under their own towers. Oh, beautiful. Love to see that from a Leona. And honestly, one of the best, parts of playing this support is this ability to find some of these really interesting kind of off angles almost. And for the side of K&D, you have got to have better vision. You need to know where Dodo Bobby is at all times. And there's unfortunately kind of this lack of vision on the spot side. And Justino may be in a little bit of trouble.
Yes, he's going to use that Cyclone, try to knock him up. Volibear might be in trouble, and Wukong actually turns attentions back towards the Volibear. I think Wukong has the 1v1. Justino takes out Volibear in his own jungle. As 36 sweaters tries to help out. The Set comes here as well. There's the clone away from the Wukong. It's not going to be enough for safety as Set gets the kill. And it's a 1-for-1 trade in the red team jungle.
Yeah, I mean, the bonus is that 36 sweaters didn't get the kill, right? The Tempered Fate came down, making sure that the Smolder was not able to immediately get that kill on Justino. But unfortunately, Gordon and Pegasus Knights were on the wrong side of the Baron Pit to be able to provide the support to allow that Wukong to get out. So Fart, nice collapse, able to get that kill, get some gold in Set's pocket, especially because he is down in CS. Definitely love a little bit of kill gold on your side, but yeah, unfortunate pathing there for Justino. Just really didn't have, was not able to clone over the Baron Pits, not able to get away.
Yeah, and here we go. Bard doing his job as support, trying to clear out some vision. First Drake going over to Fart Esports. Second one spawning here in a few minutes. And we are back into the farming game, which some champions like the Smolder, like the Scion, are perfectly okay with. Scion, 71 CS, getting nice and tanky for his team, but he is going to have to deal with the late game Smolder, which is not going to be easy to do, no matter how tanky you are.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, too, from the Malzahar, Smolder, obviously we've talked about the stacks, and we did get word that Smolder's already... Can we get a stat check, please? Mayo, pretty please? It was at 75. 75. Right now, it's about 75 stacks. Thank you, Mayo, and production. I know you can't hear him, but we did. So, that is rapidly spiraling out of control in the mid lane, and Malzahar does need items to be able to do that kind of burn damage, right? To spread the cooties, as I like to say, for this champion, and unfortunately, he's just not there yet. So, despite the CS being equal, I think it is a lot scarier, the pace at which this Smolder is stacking compared to how long it's going to take for Roomba to really become the raid boss, kind of energy, the damage that they really need him to be. Oh, my lord.
And great play here under tower. Leona goes for the stun, and Caitlyn going to pull her deep under tower. Some tower shots there into Koki Monkey, and damage onto the Caitlyn. The golden eclipse gets hit, but it's not enough. Caitlyn survives even with the ignite. Great try there by Fart, but not enough damage. Now the Kind Internet boys have an opportunity as the Wukong looks for an engage, but gets caught out by a good placed ward by Leona. And no damage there, no kills in the bot lane. Aggressive fight once again by Fart. This time they walk away empty-handed.
I'm pretty sure Pegasus Knights absolutely saved the day there with a very well-timed Tempered Fate onto Shia, making sure that she could not continue the follow-up onto Trackpad Enjoyer, which gave just enough space for the Caitlyn to get out there. Otherwise, I think that fight might have gone very differently. Already, Pegasus Knights showing, you know, maybe, not that I was wrong about the Bard, but really showing up on this Bard and really making use of that Tempered Fate. I think we are going to get a really quick replay here of that attempted dive from the side of Fart Esports. You see the Zenith Blade go in, and yeah, there's the Tempered Fate on the backside, allowing Trackpad Enjoyer. Unfortunately, does get caught up there by Shia, but provides just enough space. They're not able to follow through fully on that dive.
Yeah, good ultimates by both supports. Leona with a good solar flare as well. Almost gets the full CC, but not quite. And here we have a fight happening. Top side is set. Nice little pull under tower. A little punch base continuing here, but both of them seeming to need the junglers to really finish those fights. And a 1.1k gold advantage here for Fart Esports. They got the objective advantage. They got the kill advantage. Right now, early game looking to be in their favor as Gordon continues to provide pressures. 30 CS lead topside for the set. The top of the lane is definitely in Kind Internet Boys' favor.
Oh
and here we go. Fight happening in the mid lane. There's the Malzahar. He's going to go with the Nethergraph, trying to find the Smolder. Smolder calls in Mom for a little bit of help. And Pegasus Knights here as well, but the Volibear has the Stormbringer. He's going to dive in, take down the Bard. And the blue team on the retreat. Big Volibear trying to chase down. The CC is there. Coke Monkey cannot find an angle. And Fart Esports have to settle with the one kill onto the support, but they will take it. A little extra lead for them as the ADCs continue to scuffle bot lane. Fart Esports pulling ahead.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a slight miscommunication from the side of KND, because the Nethergrass came in, Pegasus Knight was there with the Tempered Fate on the mid tower, essentially turning it off for a second, but there was no one following up. There was no dive. Justina was there, but was like a little bit too far behind. And the flash in on top of the Smolder, it was such a good play in theory, but unfortunately not able to really fully execute it. Oh.
A nice try by Justina right there. Really close to that steal. I think I saw that Dragon at about 2. I just saw, so they were definitely just double digits for a second. But Justino just barely missing out on that smite. Red team get their second Drake. Fart Esports continue to win this game. And Sion doing what he can to keep his team in this. 110 CS. Sion, Gordon looking very strong right now.
Yeah, it is interesting. There is the CS lead, like you said, in the top lane, but the kills are even. Oh, Coke Monkey.
And once again, Coke Monkey engaging in a fight, making it so easy for the Mel. Shia LaBeouf getting the kill. Looks like she's doing the damage, but Coke Monkey, 100% of the skill right there. Dives in, lands perfect CC. Mel, 4-0. Fart Esports got themselves an APC.
It's just disgusting. The Zenith Blade Solar Flare combo immediately into the damage from the Mel.
And they are knocked on. Coke Monkey under tower. Great job of Pegasus, though, has the flash away. Coke Monkey goes down. And Pegasus, with some fancy footwork, punishes the aggressive Leona. And great then kill there for KND. They are still behind, but they will take what they can get.
I really feel like Pegasus Knight said, fool me once, or dive me once, shame on you. Dive me twice, shame on me, and said not a third time. We're not going to let that happen again. Coke Monkey getting a little too wild with it there. But really well played from Pegasus Knights, making sure that they did not collect that kill. A little bit of
and a little
jungle
scuffle
fighting.
happening top lane as Volibear casts Justino in the jungle. Here comes the Malzahar. Nethergrass immediately onto the Volibear. He's going to go over the wall with the Stormbreaker. Here comes Set with a big showstopper. Lands on 3 of them. The Haymaker going to hit the Sion shield. But Sion is just too tanky. Frontlining in for the blue team. Going to shove that red squad away, and both teams walk away without a kill. Little scuffle there by the Gromps, by the top lane tower, but nothing big happening.
Yeah, Roomba Fiesta just isn't quite there to give that kind of almost like immediate assassination ability, right, with the Nethergrass that you really kind of need them to. Nice flank by Pegasus Knights, though.
Going to take way too many shots.
Wow.
Does not have the reflect. Great job there. Shia, too aggressive, takes 2 tower shots. And that was enough damage for Caitlyn and Bard to finish that kill. Good shutdown there for Caitlyn. Much needed gold for the blue team.
Yeah, really fantastic bait out by Trackpad Enjoyer. Baiting out the rebuttal there, making sure that it was down for the ace in the hole. Well played there by the bot lane of KND, and also fantastic flank as well from Pegasus Knights, kind of capitalizing on, you know, sometimes I feel like Far Esports, not all the time, but you know, when you're ahead in kills and you're ahead in CS, sometimes you just kind of forget. You forget to pay a little respect to the tower and to the fact that the enemy team does do damage. Am I speaking from experience? Absolutely. That being said here, so we're getting into, you know, more than mid-game here. The gold is not as far apart as you would kind of expect for how much it feels like Far Esports have been in the driver's seat this game, right? The pressure on all the lanes, and a lot of these fantastic ganks and kills, and also KND providing, you know, sending a lot of resources into some of these fights that don't end up in a kill. That being said, though, I think a lot of that gold is held, as you mentioned, on the Scion, which is pretty nice, but also doesn't necessarily mean great things for the rest of your team. As you can see here, the gold differences. But definitely means that they're not out of the game yet, right? The 2 dragons are definitely concerning, as is the 3rd dragon in the mid lane. But Cal, how are you feeling? We're hitting mid-game.
I'm just like you said, anything other than the sign, a fight happening here bot lane as a great tempered fate is going to save the Malzahar life, but not for long, as Dodo Bobby going to dive in with the Stormbringer, finishing the fight. And as I was saying before, I think that, like you said, even though the gold lead is not that significant, it just feels like Far Esports have the aggression, they have the game right now in their favor, and just that fight is a prime example of it. Really good fight for them, another good dive bot lane. And Shia LaBeouf is getting fed, which just seems like Far Esports what they like to do. They want to get Shia fed. They want to play around this this really good bot lane that they have. So right now, Far Esports, I think, is very comfortable with the state of the game. As Scion trying to punish Shia LaBeouf for being too far up. Going to go into the Unstoppable Force, some damage here. The knockup is not going to connect. Shia flashed away as Coke Monkey is ready for the stun, but doesn't have to use it. Smolder calling him mom just for good measure. And 5-8, Fart with a 2K gold lead right now. They just bumped it up by another 1,000 after that bot lane fight.
Yeah, despite Mel being down a flash, I'm not exactly sure if KND is going to be able to capitalize on that. We're going to get a quick replay here of this bot lane. I mean, just the amount of CC and damage is just truly absurd. Roomba Fiesta not able to move at all. Fantastic temper break from Pegasus Knight, but it's just not going to be enough. Dodo Bobby still had that ultimate available and was definitely not afraid of the tower.
Yeah, as soon as he pops out of that ultimate, just pops the ult to chase the Malzahar. Easy play there. And Fart Esports now getting ready to take their 3rd Drake, as it's going to be a Mountain Soul this game. Would be a great soul for the Volibear, the Leona, and the Set. Those tanky champions really like having that extra tankiness, that extra armor. As KND do have the Baron. Some nice play there. Justino taking a big hit. The stun is going to be there. Solar Flare pops in as well. Golden Eclipse finishes the job. And now Dodo Bobby chasing out the Pegasus. A lot of CC here from Fart Esports. They're not going to stop here. Malzahar going to use a Nether Grass. Turns the tables on Fart. Finds the Leona. Has some CC of his own. Caitlyn takes down the Mel. And KND fighting back right now as Zion going to use that TP, use the Unstoppable Force, try to find the knockup, not going to land. Takes a few tower shots, but that is Zion. He does not mind. He'll take a few more. Volibear, very low HP. Gonna get hit by the headshot. The shutdown from Caitlyn, and KND has got some life as they fight back in the mid lane.
That is exactly the energy that KND need to be able to fight into this team. They cannot let them get away with it. And what an incredible turnaround play there. It started looking so bad, just, you know, getting caught out. And again, the layered CC, but KND realized, wait a minute. They used all their abilities, and then Coke Monkey's under our tower, and they get kills in return for it. 3 going down in return for that kill on Justino. So really well done from KND. Keeping it not quite tied, but keeping themselves in the game here while Smolder is still scary. They're definitely not out yet.
Yeah, but just also winning a fight like that, the ego boost you get from having a winning fight, knowing that you have the ability, you have the damage on your team, you just have to execute correctly. It is still going to be difficult as Coke Monkey and Shia are not going to be determined or not going to be let down from that one. They are ready to stay aggressive. 164 CS on the Mel, 5-2. She is still a threat here for KND.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at this point, Mel doesn't really become any less scary at any point in time. I think Caitlyn should become more scary, theoretically. I mean, Dragon at this point, there's no way they can contest this.
And can we get one more stat check here? I feel like Smolder might be getting pretty close here.
187.
187, getting real close to that magic number. And pretty quick here, only level 14. Smolder without kills. I'm sure that will change as Mel gonna get caught out by the Wukong. Great play there. The knockup is gonna work. The reflect is not gonna help against those melee champions. Down goes Mel, and KND with a great pickup right there. Can they turn that into something else? The Baron is up, but that would be a risky Baron, 4v5.
They love the shutdown gold, and like you said, nice pick, and also maybe a little bit of an ego boost, like you said, being able to get a kill onto that Mel that has quite genuinely terrified the team, you know, been such an absolute menace to the side of KND, so really nice pick there. Only 7 seconds there on the death timer. The death timers are still not very long, but that does mean they may be open for another one here.
And a great thing, Tempered Fate goes short as great play by Fart, avoiding that Bard ultimate. Could have been a great one too. Almost trapped both of them.
Yeah, had to pop. Dodo Bobby had to pop his ultimate to get out of there. And 36 Sweater now no longer has a flash. So KND, if they can keep that in mind, they may have something there.
And fight topside, Shaq goes in. Seo goes with the showstopper immediately. Sion trying to find distance, I think, to use his ultimate, but he does not have it. He's still trying to run away right now. Volibear has the stun. They're going to keep him there. Another big pull. Gordon in trouble as the red team have Shia coming to help out. Mel throws in some damage as well. The Haymaker is there. Shia gets the golden eclipse just in case. But Volibear is the one that picks up the kill. And Gordon, unable to chase the set down, has to accept his fate.
Yeah, for the side of KND, you know, in previous games, a lot of attention was paid to Gordon as like a topside kind of side split pushing champion. And he's really not been able to do that this game. I mean, they've been kind of locking this Sion out and they need him in these team fights. So if that's the case for KND, how exactly are they planning? This is a question I would have for them. How exactly are they, what win con are they looking for? How are they going to try and pressure Fart in a way that will allow them to get a win, especially with, you know, so much damage on this Mel and the Smolder very swiftly becoming a problem. I'm just waiting any minute now. He's at 2:15, so smoldering time is quite literally imminent. And if that's the case, I don't expect them to be 0-0-1 for much longer.
Yeah. And like you said, too, I am still impressed with how this Sion is playing. Has great CS, playing well, but like Fart Esports doing such a good job of just keeping him isolated here at the top lane. And he's not providing enough pressure to really be a threat. Meanwhile, topside, super in trouble right now. Pegasus trying to help the Sion. There's the showstopper by second to pull that Sion away. Had another pull in there. Does he have the Haymaker ready to go? Gordon looking for the damage, gets the shutdown. And a good play there by Sion, making his third kill. But like we said, he is just sort of isolated here topside and has not provided a ton of pressure to really put Fart on their toes.
Especially for these, you know, objectives, right? Justino has to fight for every dragon from now on. And with Baron available, you know, Fart definitely have an upper hand for all of those objectives, right? They have all three of the dragons that have been taken so far. Baron would be, in some ways, a lot easier for them to take because of the amount of pressure that they have. And officially, we have hit smoldering time. This dragon has practiced. We've hit full practice mode for 36 Sweaters. It is now time for, oh, there you go, yep.
Yeah, and he was waiting for, look at his CS too.
Lord.
36 Sweaters, he just beelined right to that number. He did not care about fights, he didn't care about kills.
No.
He just said, I'm gonna get the guaranteed stacks with this farm. And sitting at almost 11 CS a minute right now. Incredible job by the Smolder.
Yeah, it's just gonna be so hard. Okay, it's obviously not over till it's over. We've seen stranger things happen, but KND are under immense pressure because they cannot let the next dragon go, right? The dragon stacking is imminent. They already have one, well, technically 4. Don't give them another, right? And they cannot allow the buffs that are going to be provided by this dragon to go to the side of Fart Esports. They need that. That being said, right, we have of life here, right? KND is definitely not out of it. I think the Malzahar is slowly but surely becoming more of a menace, but I mean, that's still only, what, 2 items here on the Malzahar. Still not quite that full build to be able to do that kind of you've been nethergrass to death type of maneuver.
Yeah.
But, we'll
Well,
see.
they have no people there to help him out.
Hope.
And like you said,
Yeah.
Fart Esports with that 3 dragon lead just gives them such a good opportunity. Wait a second, we have Leona going to dive in, laying good stun there. As Bar going to flash away a Cyclone by the Wukong, trying to find support. Here comes the Sion. He's going to teleport in. A big fight. The Nethergrass lands onto the Sion, or the set. fight from the Wukong onto the back line. Leona's going to be silent. Track Manager takes the kill. And KND find a free kill. Their health bars are a little bit low, but it looks like they won themselves a fight. They have some juicy fruit to get themselves nice and healthy again before this dragon fight. 4v5 here. KND with the advantage coming into this fourth dragon.
Unfortunately,
and
I still
Caitlyn
think...
starts immediately, puts down a control board. Bard Esports looking to dive in. They have the set as the front line set. Want the pull, gonna find Gordon. Big play there. Gordon with the knockup, gonna land on the set. Can't he get the haymaker off? That's giving the shield. Justino takes down the Volibear as Caitlyn finds the smolder. And 5 members of KND are alive. The dragon is theirs for the taking. Shy, LaBeouf, and Super Spence have to run away. KND find themselves a winning fight just in the nick of the time. And they save their game. Do they want to head for Baron? Looks like they get themselves a reset. Much earned.
You know, not to say that KND played this poorly, but I want to point out, as we watch this replay, that Fart managed to split their team twice in a way that was definitely not in their advantage. See, right, we have Gordon on the front line, and I do like the Volibear going for the back line. Nice flash there from Roomba Fiesta to get them out of the way. But between Justino, who is still there, as is Trackman Enjoyer, there is nothing Dodo Bobby can do, right? Nice traps from Caitlyn, making sure that the stuns are there. Again, and Smolder walked directly into another Caitlyn trap. Trackpad definitely taking advantage of that. And that just meant that the dragon was free. And prior to this, we saw them kind of do it again. Coke Monkey going in a little bit too deep, splitting the party, as it were, and leading us to some nice team fights for the side of KND. A nice dragon pickup. They definitely needed that. And now, I think for the first time all game, they are in a gold lead.
Yeah. What a fight by KND. Take the kill lead, take their first Drake, and take the gold lead all in one fell swoop. Incredible fight there. Caitlyn feeling good as well, evening up that kill with Mel. And we got ourselves a game 1 of this quarterfinals matchup as KND starting to shove in, looking for a tier 2 tower right here. Easily get it.
Absolutely. It's going to be a really intense battle here. I think Baron may be the next step. I'm interested to see exactly who's going to want to take it first. Are they going to make a threat? Coco King baby cut out.
And some damage here by the Smolder, but it's only onto the Wukong clone. Meanwhile, Trackpad and Joy are going to get hit by the Set. Set finds the ADC. The red team immediately jumping on top of Caitlyn. Down goes the Kate. Justino taking that magical journey out to safety, but Caitlyn already gone. And great kill by Fart Esports. They have the ADC, and they're going to make a beeline here for the Baron. They want to get the big objective now. They think they can win a fight if the blue team try to contest.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to walk into this. I think it'd be very difficult. Now, granted, Justino may try and make...
Go for a possible steal. Justino over the wall, puts down a control board. Once again, Fart Esports got to get that out of the way fast. With a good route here by Coke Monkey. He's going to dive in, lands a stun onto Gordon. Not the target he's looking for. Super Spence a little bit low on HP. The knockup lands on Leona. Bard throwing in some auto attacks as well, but without the Caitlyn, don't have a ton of damage. Backside, Justino hits the kill onto the set, and a fight happening as Profile gets knocked up. And KND about to find opportunity. Double kill for the Malzahar. And 36 Sweaters is going to get a shutdown onto Justino. A 3-for-3 fight. That Baron remains standing, and both teams limp away as the Baron watches a fight in the river.
Yeah, Roomba Fiesta is definitely now doing the I will slowly eat away your health until you die type of build here, making sure to put a lot of damage there onto the set, as well as the Silas. And unfortunately, they tried to Nethergrass 36 Sweaters, was not able to get the full cast off because the rest of the team was going. But here we see, right, the double silence coming in. The damage is just absolutely immense here, and Justino was able to come over the wall, picking up a nice kill. Coke Monkey getting knocked up here as well. So Roomba Fiesta doing a good job. There's the Nethergrass coming in, trying to suppress the dragon here. 36 Sweaters was able to get away, and unfortunately is still a full dragon, so you cannot be near the Smolder if you are in execute range.
Yeah, if he's still alive, it is just a tough fight to fight. But nonetheless, KND keep their gold lead, an 800 gold lead for them. They do not lose a Baron. And they are feeling decent as we head into the 30-minute mark. They have themselves a nice, strong ADC. Caitlyn, a great late-game champion. Sion, a great late-game champion. So KND feeling good about a possible late game. Meanwhile, Coke Monkey throws the solar flare and immediately flashes in as well. There's a Zenith Blade. Some good CC onto the Caitlyn. Mel with the CC as well. Some damage on a track plat. Has to go golden. Bard, I believe, with a Tempered Fate, but the Golden Eclipse is still going to be active. Down goes the Caitlyn, and they find the jungle. Justino going to use that Cyclone, looking for the knockup, but a lot of damage there. The Wukong is next. Smolder coming in. Dodo Bobby getting the kill. Red team 5 deep mid lane. They are shoving right now. That tier 1 tower, not long. And 1 tower, 2 kills. Great fight for Fart Esports. They take the gold lead right back.
That was, I think, essentially a drive-by by the side of Coke Monkey, literally just putting down the solar flare, Zenith blading in, and then walking away. And that's all it took for Shia to have the opening to be able to get that fantastic kill there onto Trackpad Enjoyer. And Justino, I appreciate the effort, but unfortunately, 1 Wukong into 4 Fart Esports players, I don't think it's going to go in your favor. And this is going to be Baron.
Gordon gonna have to use his flash, going for a possible steal. A little bit of a ballsy play there by Gordon. Not sure that was likely to happen, even if he got there in time.
You know,
I like the energy. I like the try.
Yeah, you gotta.
And a little fight scuffle happening here in the mid lane. Dodo Bobby wants to go in right now. Look at the Malzahar. Malzahar has the spell shield though, so Dodo Bobby doesn't fully commit. As the Mel using the reflect a little bit early, still gets hit by the Caitlyn Q. And a possible fight here around this Drake as Fart trying to get a Baron and a Soul really quick right now. Here comes the Gordon. He's going to dive in, knock up on his 2 members. Caitlyn still throwing some pressure. Mel not going to land with his CC. Justino has the Cyclone, but it's not going to be enough. The Tempered Fate comes in too late. Wukong is already dead. Roomba takes down Steph, but the blue team HP bars are low. The Volibear with the Stormbringer over the back finds a big CC. Caitlyn with the auto attack might get Volibear. The last one is going to be enough. And 2 members of Fart Esports finding the grave. Down goes the bar. Down goes the set. And we got ourselves a 3-3 fight as both teams back off once again. The objective remains standing as the teams have to reset.
Yeah, I don't think they really need Dodo Bobby to be able to take this dragon. I think this is decidedly theirs. But there's a TP in here. Gordon, I think, doesn't want to let this one go.
No, Gordon not want to give away Soul. And great job by Set. I am really enjoying Gordon's aggression right now. Seems to be in the right places, ready to join these team fights, and he is tough to take down. A great front laner here for KND.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a shame, too. Some of these fights they end up well in some regards for KND, but they just really can't find a way to pick them with Fart Esports that doesn't end in, like, 3 of their members dying.
Yeah.
Right? Unfortunately, for the side of KND, they go well because Fart chases too much. Right? So it's not really that KND is having a good fight, it's that Fart are making mistakes, and they are punishing them for that, right? But I don't know if that's going to be enough to take a win here.
No, absolutely right. And Fart Esports, they feel like they're the better team, and they are playing very aggressive because of it, sometimes overly aggressive. And they are getting punished, but like we said, not quite punished enough because they still have that 2K gold lead. They still have a very fed Smolder. It's not like they are weak at all. And we have ourselves a dragon fight happening. Good Tempered Fate by Bard lands on a 2, then the blue team trying to dive in as well. Simon can stop before it, but a huge play by Set. Has the showstopper, lands on a 3, immediately gets out the nether grass. Mel goes in the Golden Eclipse, and that's going to be a triple kill from the Mel. That ultimate absolutely demolishes, make it a quadra kill. Mel the Sorcerer showing her damage. A huge fight by Fart Esports. They have Baron, they have Soul, and they have an empty lane all the way down mid.
Yeah, I need this replay because it looks like Roomba and Trackpad got absolutely obliterated. Yeah, okay, there it is, the triple kill with that ult. There's not a lot that needs to be said there, I think.
The Haymaker
really
just barely collected to make him low enough for that triple. That was absolutely beautiful. And I think someone flashed away so they did not get hit by it. She stayed low health for the Mel to kill. That was a perfectly set up fight. Yeah. And like we said, Fart Esports find the fight, find the Baron, find the Dragon, and they find the Nexus at the end of the lane to get themselves a Game 1 victory. Fart Esports with the win.
I don't think that could have gone much better for Fart Esports. The entire game, they had the foot on the gas. They were in control of that game. And when it looked like KND were in control was quite really when Fart were just being a little bit too silly with it. I mean, looking at the damage graph here, right? 11, 3, and 7 on this Mel. That is ridiculous. 37,000 damage on this Mel. Triple kill right at the very end. And I think that's exactly why they picked it. So if you are KND, you have got to come back with something new this time. You have to think about how you want to play into a team that's bringing aggression in every single lane, in the jungle, is at every objective, and is not going to play passively here in game 2. So K&D really need to think about how they want to come back with this draft. And for Far Esports, they just need to keep pressing because clearly this is working out for them.
Yeah, no, KND have got to go with a little strategy right now. They might want to lean on the punishing mistakes. That definitely can work, but they just need to do it more aggressively. They need to do it more consistently. They need to make sure to focus on some of these carries as well, especially like Shia. Shia getting that fed that early in the game was just an absolute disaster there for KND. Really made it sort of an easy game for Fard Esports. But we will see what these two teams decide to come up with. It is a best-of-3 series, so this is not over by any means. Game number 2 of this epic showdown is coming up. Stick around. Risen Esports, don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is time. Game number 2 of this epic quarterfinals matchup. It was a great game number 1. Fart Esports, they showed their stuff. As expected, they are definitely the favors of this matchup. They played a very, very strong game number 1. Felt in control for most of the game, except for a few slip-ups here and there. But game number 2 coming up, Kind Internet Boys. We're going to see what they come up with. Any ideas, Bexon, of what they might be able to do?
I mean, the biggest thing for me, I don't exactly know what they could do, but this could be it. This is match point. They could be out of playoffs after this next game, despite being quite literally nearly undefeated in the regular season. They could go out 2-0 here in playoffs in the first round, right? In quarterfinals, which would be honestly a bit wild. So for K&D's sake, I hope they can bring us back to a third game. Maybe they can bring, you know, obviously, like you said, it's fearless, so they don't have to worry about the Mel again, which is probably good because, oh my lord, Shia, that's illegal.
That and Smolder. They don't have to worry about Smolder too, which is nice.
Yeah, you don't have to. You've taken some of those big players out. That being said, many of the players for Fart Esports have a pretty deep champion pool, and this is only game 2 of, you know, a best of 3, right? So it's not like we're hitting the depths of game 5 and a best of 5, right? But some of those big kind of scary things are out of the way. But for Kind Internet Boys, I need to see them on lanes that are going to be more proactive. Like, I think Gordon's lane went pretty well, as we saw with the Scion. But especially in that bot lane and even the mid lane, I need to see them more aggressive, right? I need them to see them on things that are going to be able to make use of a gank by Justino. I need to see them on those kinds of champions that are going to push for a win in lane, are going to get those early towers, because as we've seen, if you let Fart Esports snowball, it will not go your way.
Very tough to recover after they start to get going. But also, Kind Internet Boys, like we talked about, undefeated, but postseason is a different beast. It is a completely different game. You got that different level of pressure on you, and some teams able to rise to it, some not so much. We'll see if Kind Internet Boys able to force an infamous game number 3, as we are going to get started with the picks and bans. Once again, Way off the field immediately. So a mid lane away is something that obviously Fart Esports is definitely worried about.
They saw how excited you were last week, and they said, we can't let Cal get excited about Hui this time. We need to make sure there's no way.
I have a very limited
like
champ
4
pool,
last
so
week,
when I see one of them on the field, I definitely get excited. Maybe they'll throw an echo and throw me a bone. Those are about the only 2 champions I really play a lot.
So far, bans are pretty standard. The Rise is a little bit different here out of K&D, but not terribly unexpected. Excuse me, especially for 36 sweaters going into game 2. Definitely a champion you do not want them to have.
Yeah,
that's
another one of those scaling mid laners. It looks like 36 sweaters just plays those really good late game mid laners, and Rise definitely one of those late game mid laners, especially loves to farm just like the Smolder. And we saw just how good 36 sweaters was at CSing last game with the 12 CS a minute Smolder. He's got his stacks fastest, insanely fast stacks.
Yeah. But I mean, there's still so many options, right? You've got the Syndras, and you've got the Lissandras, and you have all these other options. Ooh, immediately a Senna pickup by K&D. Now, another hot take, Senna's a little bit of a bait, I think, especially with some of the nerfs that she got recently. So this could be a little dangerous for K&D. I'm not exactly sure what they're planning to do with the Senna, but it could be a little bit spooky. But talking about scaling champions,
yeah,
there you have one.
I really love the change to Senna. I was not a fan of the way the Souls interaction worked. However, there was a less chance to get into Soul if she was the one that last hit the minion. I love that they changed that. Turns her into a true ADC if you want to play her as one. So Senna has that scaling, but late game ADC, we might have a matching late game damage dealer because Fart Esports grab up the Vayne. Is it going to be an ADC? Is it going to be a top laner? We will see. I don't think Vayne is the strongest ADC because of her range and stuff, but nonetheless, she can do it. Fart Esports might just be having fun game number 2 with a 1-0 lead already.
Yeah, Sejuani here also a really nice, I mean, I can already see what Fart Esports want to do here, right? With the Sejuani, with the Vayne. And regardless of whether Vayne is top or bot, I do suspect this is also a flex, but I do suspect this may be a Vayne top. They are making sure they have all their bases covered, right? Seraphine here, picked up for K&D, another very popular choice.
Yeah, and I really like
normally
the combo
see with the Ash
too.
Seraphine, but yeah. Senna
Yeah, I like
Seraphine,
Seraphine Senna.
very valid.
Honestly, I like Seraphine, another enchanter. I have seen a lot. I do run custom 5v5s, and Seraphine, another enchanter, a Seraphine brand, a Seraphine
Mm.
Vel'Koz. It is
Oh, that's
absolutely
evil.
dominating in the bot
That's
lane. It is
evil.
so annoying. But nonetheless, Seraphine Senna, a great combo as well. Seraphine is a really strong support right now, it feels like.
Yes. I don't correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think she got any nerfs in the most recent patch, which is kind of absurd for how oppressive Seraphine has been in the bot lane for what feels like 12 years. I know that's not literal, but it feels like it's been forever, right? Orin here rounding out the picks for the KND, another beefy tinky top, which does make a lot of sense. And Nautilus here picked up Hovered for Esports. Definitely makes sense for Coke Monkey. Very good on those engaged champions.
Yeah.
And they don't want to go to get some more bans there.
Likes to
on,
be the one starting the fights. But Ornn, I like kind of Internet Boys, and I like their scaling. Ornn is just always come level 16. That is an extra 3,000 gold for your team with all those items.
Yes. But can they make it that far? That's the real question. I mean, Gordon really showed up there on the Scion in game 1.
Yeah.
I think Ornn obviously has a lot of utility and still has those big engage ultimates. Obviously, Call of the Forge got a fantastic team fight ultimate. In some ways, I think better than Unstoppable Onslaught. But, you know, there is still the question of, can Ornn get there? Can
And
they
how's he
get
gonna,
to the point
is he going to be
where
playing
it's
into this Vayne?
unstoppable?
I'm not
Oh,
sure how
yeah.
an Ornn Vayne matchup goes. I have to assume it goes like many other melee top laners against Vayne. Not well for them. But if anyone is a top lane knowledge house in the chat, let us know how you think Ornn Vayne goes. I'm a little bit curious myself. Don't see the matchup a ton, but I have to assume Vayne just does the same thing she does to most other tanky melee tops.
I mean, I feel like there's a reason why top laners hate Vayne. I feel like this is definitely one of the situations where Vayne would be incredibly oppressive to play into. The Ornn may struggle. This may be a rough one for Gordon. But that being said, Coke Monkey on the Nautilus, I think, obviously not quite as flexible in terms of the engage that you get from Leona, right? But Nautilus lollipops, they get you every time.
That's it. They're tricky.
They
And
are.
final couple bans coming out. So the Shin, Swain by Fart Esports. They do not want to see those two. Trundle and one more pick here by KND. What do they want to finish this game 2 bans out with?
I don't know.
Solid
Lots
comp
of
to both. I am curious if
yeah.
that's going to be a Vayne. So we're gonna see how Fart Esport rounds out their comp. We're gonna see exactly where that Vayne is going. I would be a little surprised if it's Vayne ADC. I just do not like Vayne ADC, and against a Senna Seraphine, I think it's not going to be nearly as strong as against an Ornn.
Yeah, I do think this like I said, I think this will be a Vayne top, especially because I think that this is definitely an advantage for her in the top lane. I cannot recall off the top of my head if Super Spence has played. Oh, I'm a liar, right? We need the sign. Where's the sign, Mayo, that casters are always wrong? Because
That's right. We gotta
Mordekaiser
get
is
the
over
classic
here.
Mayo sign. Caster is always wrong.
Casters are always wrong.
And I might be wrong right here as Mordekaiser gets selected. A very common top laner.
I'm kind of disappointed. I was kind of excited for the Vayne top lane. I think that Vayne into Ornn, maybe Super Spence doesn't play Vayne. That's what I was about to ask, actually, if anyone had seen Super Spence play Vayne. Nasus here is Hovered, and that could be a Nasus mid jungle. Strong jungle on Destino.
We're getting a little note from our producers saying they believe it's going to be a Nasus jungle, which I have seen that quite a bit recently. It is very strong, and we actually did a real quick comparison of Nasus jungle to Nasus top. The stacks are remarkably similar as far as time-wise goes. Even a good Nasus top, you have the relatively similar stacks to a good Nasus jungle. So Nasus jungle, and you don't have the pressure of that early game. If a team decides to really put pressure top lane against a Nasus, it can be deadly.
Yeah, I mean, the comp from KND feels a lot more. There's a lot of stacking, though. That's the only thing I'm a little worried about, is there's a lot riding on your ability to get stacks between the Nasus and the Senna. Right? Like, yeah, exactly, to get to late game. But, right, we have the sustain from Seraphine. Seraphine, very impressive. And Pegasus Knights can play Seraphine well. I have absolutely zero doubt about that ability, right? Ornn, as we've already established, is a nice and provides even extra in the late game. Karma here picked up for Fart Esports. So I'm assuming that's going to be a Karma mid, right? That would make sense here, looking at this team.
Yeah, we will
Not
find out
sure.
exactly in a second. I do like the Mordekaiser pickup as well from Fart Esports, though, because no matter how many stacks you have as Senna, if you're 1v1 versus Mordekaiser, chances are you're losing that fight. So I do enjoy the Mordekaiser
Yeah.
pickup. Maybe going to get one of these really big champions that worried about either this Nasus or the Senna in that death realm with him. Nasus, obviously a little bit more of a toss-up whether or not you want to put him in that death realm with you. He's
Is
not
it going to be a
necessarily a
one-way
champion
ticket
you
for
like to
you or for
1v1.
him?
Exactly, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Nasus is more under discretion of the Mordekaiser whether or not, but Senna, if he ever gets close enough, that should be an easy ult for him, and Senna doesn't have a ton of escape to get away from that Mord. And here they are. Then the rolls are out. It is going to be a Mordekaiser top. It is going to be a Karma mid. So good job by Bexon doing that. And it is going to be a Vayne bot. So a little disappointing, but nonetheless expected once we saw that Mordekaiser. And Nasus jungle making an appearance. We'll see how he does. See how many stacks this Nasus can get. But it is time for game number 2 of Risen Esports. Some exciting comps. I believe the prediction is live, folks. If you guys want to put down your points, put them down now. Which one of these two teams do you think is going to take game number 2? Can Fart Esports close it out right here, right now? Or is KND going to force that infamous game number 3?
the fallout, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of a world that we defy. A soul ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last light. Hearing voices from afar, join the madness when the curtain falls. Risk it all, hold nothing back. Seize the day, we must attack. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of a world that we defy. A soul ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last light.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is time. Game number 2, Risen Esports. And just like game number 1, starting out with a little bit of a scuffle mid lane as these teams like to go at it right away. We got ourselves game number 2 with Fart Esports with the 1-0 lead, trying to close it out right here, right now, push that ticket to the semifinals. KND trying to force that game 3.
Yeah, I am so excited to see this game too. As we were talking in this break, both teams have some, I think, strong points on their draft picks, but also both teams have some things that I have questions about, and we'll have to see exactly how they play out here onto the Rift. This Vayne especially is one of them for me specifically.
Yeah, we were talking about these drafts before the game started.
Oh, no.
And not the strongest drafts maybe on either team. They might have could have gone some better picks, some better champions to really fit into their comps. But nonetheless, we're going to see how it works out. Right now, Fart Esports, they have some cover picks. Like they said, 36 sweaters are in this Karma mid. Maybe not the strongest mid laner, but 36 sweaters does like the pick.
Yeah, I do love to see some, I always love to see players on some like really unique pocket picks. It always makes me happy. I love to see it. 36 sweaters on Karma apparently is one of them. But ooh, I love some top lane aggression here early as well.
Always got to go at each other. A few auto attacks, both their health bars depleted. Just seems like the story at top.
I feel like I could never be a top laner. There's too much low health involvement. I think it would stress me out. I think it would stress me out
pack
too
when
much.
I'm 75% health. It's like, nope, got time to go back and get full. I don't like it.
I can see my health bar isn't full. I can't stand
Exactly.
it. It stresses me out.
And Roomba, a little stun on a Karma. Karma trading back, and Karma is such an annoying champion. So many abilities. Has the CC, has the speed, has the shield. It's just an insane amount. Plus those mantra Qs, it is just way too much. And a fight topside is Gordon going to take a tower shot. Super Spence on the chase right now. Has his shield. He is chasing down the Mordekaiser. The slam has got to connect. First blood goes to Mord. And a fight bot side is the fourth. They're not done yet. Big stun there. Said Doran could dive in. The knockup is onto the Senna. Seraphine in trouble as well. Trying to find some CC. It is going to connect. Down goes the Vayne. But a 3 kills in for Fart. KND pick up 1 for their supports. And Fart with a nice early lead.
Yeah, level 3 gank here from Dodo Bobby is exactly kind of what I was expecting here after we saw how aggressively they played last game. So far here, already coming out swinging. They're ready to try and take home a 2-0 here against the, honestly, the favorite strike going in. Trackpad and Joy and Pegasus Knights, they weren't aware. They had no idea. And the nice flash from Coke Monkey setting up a fantastic double kill scenario here for the side of Far Esports. Pegasus Knights getting a nice one in return. But I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Between the Sedge and the Nautilus, so much CC. And a little bit of fighting, and it looks like we have a small little lull period. And while we have a chance, we have got to do our skin to win. Vexen, you unfortunately,
Ooh,
I think,
I
missed
was
the mark on
wrong.
game number 1. Game number 2,
did.
skin to win. Let's take a real quick look as these players are still CSing.
Yeah, I do. Sejuani, fantastic skin. Not my favorite Nasa skin. And as we look into the bot lane for another dive, we'll get to see some and we can make a decision.
Ooh,
Nice
great
splash.
Oh, man, trackpad with the fancy footwork.
Yeah, taking a look here at our bot lane. That is my favorite Nautilus skin. And I have to say it. I do think that the skin game win game here goes to the side of Fart Esports. A little sad with the lack of color coordination, but fantastic karma. My favorite Nautilus skin, great Mordekaiser skin. So overall,
Yeah,
just
such
fun.
a great Nautilus.
We'll
I think it's everyone's
we'll
favorite
see if I'm right
Nautilus
this
skin.
time.
It really is the best. And fight topside as Doran lands a knockup. Mordekaiser going to miss some slam, has some shield though.
Yeah, nothing too scary. A little bit of a calmer game. We're 5 minutes in and only 4 kills. That feels like a little bit of a different energy here in game 2 than we saw.
Yeah, compared to game number 1. Not a small amount of kills by any means this late in. And first Drake should be spawning here right now. It's going to be an Infernal Drake to start this game out.
Yeah, I do want to point out here the CS difference already here in the mid lane between Roomba Fiesta and 36 Sweaters. 22 to 47.
Yeah,
This
it
is
seems
looking
like
very
36
reminiscent
Sweaters
of game 1.
pretty comfortable on this champion. He is a very good farmer as well. 36 Sweaters. Had 11 CS last game. Sitting at 9 already here on the Karma this game. And a 1.5k gold lead, essentially mostly off of CS here in the beginning of this game.
If you'll permit me to be a little punny, if 36 Sweaters is a good farmer, do you think he raised his own sheep to make the sweaters?
That is a terrible pun, Vexen. That is just awful, folks. I apologize on behalf of Vexen for that one, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I don't
we got
apologize.
Some League of Legends.
No, I don't apologize.
That is awful. All right, folks. And it was nice having Vexen here as a caster. They are going to be taking the rest of the night off, I believe.
Mayo may fire me, but it's okay.
That's it.
Chat, let me know if you thought it was funny.
Chat agrees. Oh, gosh. Luckily, no kills happening, so we got to appreciate that for a while. But we are back in the action. Looks like Fart Esports on top of that dragon get themselves a quick early Drake. No contest by KND. No. And a 1.2k gold lead as a possible fight brewing bot lane. Sejuani going to dive in. Seraphine looking at a low position. The knockup lands, but the hook does not. And Dodo Bobby taking a big chunk of damage from the Senna. Able to walk away with their lives. And a dragon is all that Fart gets from that exchange. As Nast is coming bot lane to help out. The stun on Nautilus is going to hook himself away. Nast is trying to chase him down. The Wither is going to connect. Coke Monkey looking low. Senna with the auto attacks. Justino gets the slam. And KND find a clutch kill in the bot lane for their Nastus. Anytime Nast gets that plus 12.
Dodo Bobby just backed.
Under tower, Roomba gonna find 36 Sweaters. A good devil stun there under tower. 36 Sweaters flashing away. Roomba does not have the follow. And a sliver of health is all that Sweaters have, but it's gonna be enough to stay alive. As I say that, Nast is with the slam. The Q is gonna get a plus 12. Justino, right place, right time, finds the karma.
Justino is doing exactly what I wanted to see out of him this game that we really didn't get to in game 1. Not only a fantastic return gank, right? A little bit of a reverse gank maybe in the bot lane. Dodo Bobby failing to take advantage of Trackhead and Joy and Pegasus Knights. I think they're learning. I think they're understanding exactly how Fart Esports want to play this bot lane, so they were able to dodge that gank. Nice turnaround. Dodo Bobby backed while they're being pressured by Justino and the Senna Seraphine in that bot lane, leading to a nice kill into Coke Monkey. And also, Shia went pretty low there in that exchange as well. And then a great roam from Justino to get to the mid lane to capitalize on Roomba Fiesta, finally finding an in against this Karma to get a nice double kill here for the Nasus. 2-0 here in the jungle. I love to see it. Nice energy here out of KND.
Not expecting Nasus to have a really early start as far as kill goes, but that's a nice little plus surprise for KND. I'm sure they're happy with that. And looking at the comps as well, KND if they can stay even for a good 15-20 minutes, it is going to start shifting in their favor just because of their comp. Ornn, Senna, Nasus. It is very, very good late game champions they have on their team. It might be a matter of comp difference as this game goes on. That being said, Mordekaiser and Vayne, no slouch in the late games themselves.
Yeah, looking really good so far. I mean, despite a few shakiness from Fart Esports, they do seem fairly in control, right? They do have some CS leads, and several of these really contested lanes, especially here this Vayne, I think will be really important. And obviously, as we said earlier, 36 sweaters on this Karma already being really annoying to Roomba Fiesta on this Lissandra. 2 games in a row, not having the best of time here playing into this mid laner. But that being said, K&D fighting back a lot more than we got to see in game 1. I think they're aware that they need to put the pressure on Fart. They cannot just play passively. As we've seen with this team in previous weeks, you cannot play passively into this team. They will absolutely capitalize on the fact that you're trying to scale, right? Or trying to be a little, just trying to farm and waiting a little bit.
Absolutely, and I'm expecting a Fart to get going here in a little bit as well, because not only that, and here we have a big fight happening bot lane as Seraphine throws in the Encore. The Dawning Shadow by Senna gets a little bit of a shield, but Vayne dashes forward, gets hit by the tower. A nice kill by Pegasus. Vayne picks up one herself. And now Coke Monkey trying to run away, has the hook back to the terrain, able to get away, but a nice little 1-for-1 trade as Seraphine gets the kill once again for KND. Vayne picking up her second.
I really need to see a replay. I don't know if we can see that, Mayo. Because did the depth charge knock Seraphine into the air and that's how her Encore missed? Because that was a very bizarre interaction that I have not seen before. Very interesting combination of plays. I don't know, very strange. And despite, if we can take a quick look at that, I just want to see. So the nice hook there onto the Senna. The depth charge does come in, hitting 2. But maybe it was the final hour that meant that Shia was able to dodge the Encore. I was just confused how it didn't land, and maybe it did.
It looks like it should have still hit, because it doesn't. It should still go from where you are on the ground. So even though she's up in the air, the actual ability should be from the ground. And I don't know how that doesn't hit.
Okay, they cleanse.
Oh, Vayne with the cleanse. It only hit Vayne, and she cleansed it immediately. Shia LaBeouf. Yes. Too fast for us to even see. Wow.
Yeah, thank you for the
Talk about how good Shia LaBeouf is on this roll. We just saw right there. We have a fight happening bot lane. Lissandra has that Glacial Prison onto the Karma, but they have the praise right now. Karma trying to run away, but Justina with the Wither. It's just too much. Down goes 36 sweaters, and KND are going to pick up the kill lead and tie this game in the gold department.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Roomba Fiesta may be using that Frozen Tomb on repeat for 36 sweaters, trying to make sure that Karma cannot provide those late game speeding and shields, right, that Karma is especially known for.
Yeah, Justino pops Fury of the Sands, but wait a second. Sejuani is there with the Frozen, the Glacial Prison. That's going to be enough. Down goes the Nasus, and the red team now on the chase here as Roomba trying to find some kill here before they go down. The Nautilus hook connects from long range. Double kill for the Vayne. And Fart Esports is off to the races. Trackpad and Joy trying to do some damage as the red team look to scatter. They have a TP from the Ornn. He's going to call the Forge God to help out, but he gets CC'd as it comes in. It does not have the knockup, can't find the play. And Fart Esports are not done yet. Trackpad and Boy, very low HP. That Encore is going to land on the 2 of them. 36 sweaters on the chase, has the speed by Karma. Do they have the kill, though? Gordon and Pegasus both trying to run away right now. Sejuani dashed in, cannot find the stun. Senna with some great CC to protect her teammates. The Dawning Shadow connects the shield onto the blue team. Sejuani still looking for the damage, does not have enough. And Fart have to walk away without a kill. 6-5. They are still looking good, have a 1.5K gold advantage. A fight in the jungle leaves only 1 dead.
Yeah, 36 sweaters there, I think, was waiting to see if they could get kind of a cheeky mantra Q off to maybe get this kill onto Trackpad Enjoyer. But what an fascinating play. Really nice pick onto Justino. Was not aware of where the enemy team was, and despite being a very large god with the Fury of the Sands, was not able to sustain through that fight. And I think we saw exactly there how 36 sweaters will be really terrifying, especially as we get later into these team fights with the speed and the shields. Nice Glacial Prison there used onto Justino. Shia picking up the kills, exactly what they want on that Vayne. And despite the team being a little bit split, Coke Monkey provided some really nice body blocking on the backside, meaning that Trackpad
and a dragon fight is brewing, folks. As it looks like Nautilus is going to get CC'd. Sejuani gets the smite, and Justino in trouble as the red team turns their attention towards the dog. Nasus is trying to flash over the wall, but just misplays it. And a good play there as Fart grab a dragon and a kill. Vayne chasing down the Seraphine, but gonna run into the center here in a second. Might want to think twice about starting that fight.
Yeah, this Vayne is now 5-2. I do want to point out that is going to be very scary as we get deeper into this game. Realm of Death may not be very... you might not need to go to the Realm of Death in order to find death at the hands of Shia LaBeouf on this Vayne. Because this is looking really scary here for KND. And I know earlier our production may or may not have said that Nautilus is maybe not the best support here for Coke Monkey, but so far, Coke Monkey playing absolutely fabulously with this Nautilus, not only with some really fantastic hooks, but also providing some really great body blocking. I mean, Nautilus is doing exactly what Nautilus needs to do, making sure that the teams cannot coalesce to be able to get a nice team fight, meaning KND really has to play these split fights, and unfortunately, with the way that their damage is kind of split up, they don't really have an option to do that. There's not a real way for them to split up nicely. Oh, nice hook.
Coke Monkey with a great hook, but Seraphine double encore lands. Seraphine, great encores right there. Got a little unlucky on a few of them with the cleanses, with the knockups, but nonetheless, still providing some benefit. 2-1 right now. Seraphine, just as strong as she normally is.
Yeah,
One of the things about these two teams as a play-by-play, I especially hate. And here we have Lissandra going to go in. Not going to use the ultimate, though. Lissandra and the Sejuani with the Glacial Prison and Frozen Tomb. Always getting confused. They're very similar ultimates. They're very cold. Yes. And we have a fight happening here as Mordekaiser's going to use that Death Realm onto the Ornn. Does he have the damage, though? Yes, he does. Down goes Gordon. Supersman picks up a kill. Coke Monkey with the hook onto the center. She's going to buy some CC. The Dawning Shadow comes in as well. Nasus joins the fight, looking for the Wither on the Shia LaBeouf. Down goes Shia. Seraphine picks up another as the Sedge comes to help out the Nautilus. Once again has to hook himself away with the terrain. And it seems like it's the third time this game we have seen Fart just go too deep. Nautilus has to run away while the Vayne gets taken out.
They keep trying to punish Trackpad Enjoyer, but they keep getting away with it. I mean, unfortunately for Trackpad Enjoyer, you can still hook someone while they are in the mist, which is, not ideal if you're a Senna. So Coke Monkey really hitting a nice hook there onto the ADC, but the turnaround and also the timing for Justino was really well done, making sure that they were able to keep the Senna safe and get the kill onto the Vayne. They definitely can't let that Vayne continue to scale out of control.
Yeah,
well, you said a little bit of an extended fight, too.
Is only going to get more damage as this game goes on. Blue team are scaling. They're only about 2K gold behind. They do have a great late game that Senna is eventually just going to outrange this comp. Vayne's not going to be able to get very close. We just need Trackpad Enjoy to get some kills. Right now, still killless this game. Vayne sitting on 5. A little bit of a gold difference between those two, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll still be hard for Senna. I mean, like we said earlier, I mean, not only is there a CS difference, but Senna is up, right, in CS here in the lane so far, but also Senna just scales. She just needs some time.
She does scale.
So
about 1,200 lead right now for the Vayne. So pretty significant. Shia LaBeouf going to get caught out by Justino, and he pops nice that Wither, just a built-in exhaust.
But Vayne able to tumble her way away, as it were.
And we are getting a stat update as well in the Nasus. Meanwhile, a fight happening here as they find the route onto Coke Monkey. A little bit of damage by Pegasus Nice as they run away. And it's going to be 37 stacks right now on the center, doing a decent job. 357 on Nasus. And just like we said, Nasus jungle works. Meanwhile, a fight happening in the jungle. 36 Sweater is going to get hit by that Frozen Tomb. A fight in the bot lane as well. Fights all over. There's some damage onto the Seraphine. This time, Shia LaBeouf walks away with the kill as Senna tries to find some support. But Nautilus lands the long-range hook. Double kill for the Vayne. And Fart Esports feeding their ADC kills. Coke Monkey absolutely on fire with these hooks.
Yeah, I think they finally figured out the key that if you kill the Seraphine, the Senna will also die swiftly. So Fart Esports, I think, have found the secret sauce here to making sure that they can successfully dive here on the bot side. Really nice hook onto the Seraphine, and there was not a lot they could do. Frozen Tomb here used in the mid lane. 36 Sweaters was in trouble here. As you said, the Wither, nice exhaust. But Sejuani is right behind them. Roomba Fiesta did not have the health to continue this fight, so they had to leave. But nobody died,
Roomba,
which is very impressive. You know?
Sejuani's got to be kicking himself and not getting that kill as Roomba and Justino make it out. I love the replay function. Great job by the producers giving us a replay of a fight that we weren't able to see. I absolutely love that. Great job by Dodo. Dodo Bobby. Sorry, Dodo Bobby. My bad, man.
Yeah, we did quickly miss a kill. Orin did die 1v1 in the top lane there to Super Spence. It does look like both flashes were used as well as it ignites. And a Run of Death. A lot of things used there in top side. Super Spence, I think, having a fun time here in the Forge God, as it were.
Having a solid,
Yeah,
not loving being 0-3 right now, I'm sure. And Mordekaiser 3-0, definitely winning that top lane fight as Fart working on their third Drake of the game at the 19-minute mark. They're taking these Drakes pretty quickly, and that's going to be an easy one for them. And once again, we have the same scenario as last game, a 3 Drake to 0. And that gives the Fart just a great opportunity. If they want to go for Baron, they can. If they want to give up Baron and get stole, they can. The ball is in their court to sort of do what they want with these next set of objectives. And Dodo Bobby going to dive in. Does get hit by the Seraphine Encore, though. Is it going to be enough? Some damage here onto the Sejuani. She's under tower. Finds some CC, but Seraphine not going to go down. Meanwhile, Gordon, the knockup lands. Lysandra dives in with the W. Some stun there. The big Dawning Shadow onto the backline. Shut down onto Sejuani. Orin gets the kill. And it looks like that's a play here as down goes Karma as well. Lysandra picks that one up. 8-11. KND showing some life, getting some kills, and immediately heading for tier 1 tower.
Yeah, that is exactly how they need to layer their CC to make sure they can get these kills and have those sustained fights, which do go well for them if they can do them essentially in the proper order. Now, that being said, while they were having a good fight there in the mid lane, Vayne took that bot tier 1 by herself. That's a lot of gold there in the pocket of the ADC for Fart Esports. And again, that is still a 7-3 Vayne. That is still a very scary champion to play into the later we get. So you can't discount that. But like we said, very good engaged there in the mid lane. I'm really impressed with how KND are still hanging in there. I mean, the gold lead, the dragon lead, and the kill lead are decidedly in Fart Esports' favor. But they don't want to be counted out yet. So really impressive fighting back here. And we are starting to get to the point where, you know, ornaments may be coming out. We're starting to see some items coming in. So KND really want this game to keep going.
Upgrade himself first, and then his teammates soon to follow, I'm sure. And you just cannot count out any team when they have a Nastus Senna on their squad. Just 2 insane champions. Senna will eventually be able to outrange this Vayne by a good amount. And Vayne might have difficulty getting to her. So we'll see what KND can do. We'll see how comfortable Trackpad is on the Senna as well. I think a lot of it's going to rely on him in the late game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Trackpad and Joyer, there's a lot riding on their shoulders. Realm of Death here for Gordon.
And here comes the call. The Forge God. Gordon lands the knockup, but I'm not sure it's going to do enough. Mordekaiser slams him down, has the damage. Another pull is going to be it. Gordon trying to run away, but Super Spence keeps him in the Realm of Death, finds the kill. And one member of KND down. That gives Fart Esports an opportunity to start this Baron here at the 22-minute mark. No one from KND looks to be stopping this.
Yeah, I mean, without the kind of engage there from Gordon and some of that frontline tankiness, there's really nothing that KND can do. I mean, you can have Justina walk in and attempt to get a seal, but at what cost, right? Especially with how great the team fighting from Fart Esports is. So Baron here picked up for Fart Esports, 22 minutes in this game. And it's looking a bit scary for KND.
Yeah.
Again, they were so good the entire regular season, and now we're here. Do or die time in playoffs, and it just seems like they're just getting outplayed everywhere across the entire map.
Yeah, Fart really starting to pull ahead as far as the gold as well. 4,000 gold. We're going to start to see those separations as far as some champions have 2, 3 full finished items compared to 1 or 2 on KND's side, and that's really where things start to go haywire. And I think Fart Esports realize that they do have a stopwatch on this game. They need to finish this game after a certain time. They know they can't let this Nas instead get too big. So I believe they're going to start to play aggressive, especially with this Baron right here.
Yeah, now Trackpad, like we said, is coming into their own. A lot of damage there. I don't know if you were able to see that on 36 sweaters with just essentially like a couple of Senna auto attacks. So again, not out yet, but it is looking really dangerous, especially with this Baron push. I mean, they really need to make sure that they're maintaining these tier 2 towers because they cannot afford to lose much more and still be able to go to those objectives because we've seen how great of a split pusher Super Spence is.
Yeah, and there goes Coke Monkey with the pull on Justino. I was wondering if he was going to pull that close range Nasus. He opts to because he's only his target. Not a lot of damage done, but Super Spence and Dodo working on the bot lane with the Baron as well. And Fart Esports having a great split push. That's going to connect. There's the encore on his center, but it's only going to land on a Nautilus. The Shia LaBeouf dives in, has the damage. Pegasus is in trouble. The auto attacks are connecting. Shia has one more dash. A double kill for the Vayne as Fart Esports crack open the mid lane. Low HP Vayne walks away with 2 kills, 14-8. Fart Esports running away with game number 2.
That was really well played by Pegasus Ice, but unfortunately, Shia on this Vayne can tumble just a little bit further than your exhaust and your roots can reach. Really well played there by Shia. 9-3 on this Vayne. I just can't. That's a lot. That's a lot of kills there on this Vayne here, and just absolutely fearless. Like, all of the players here for Fart are absolutely playing with no fear, running into every fight with what seems like supreme confidence that they will come out on top. Obviously, the health that Ocean Drake will give them is not what KND wants, right? Especially for the Sejuani and for Super Spence here on Mordekaiser. But it's not over yet. I'm going to keep the hopium alive until the Nexus explodes. And KND have shown that they can have some really fantastic team fights. It's just looking really difficult for them to be able to find an in so far. And with the way that Fart have been playing just really well, like, it doesn't seem like anybody's really been able to be caught out this game. They're not over chasing like we saw last game.
Yeah, I feel like that's what KND sort of needs right now. They need Fart to do those same plays they did last game. They just go too far. They lose 3 or 4 in a fight, give some big gold away. But it looks like Fart Esports learned their lesson. Very low kills on their side. 3 on the Karma, 3 on the Vayne, and that is the most they have. So, great job by Fart Esports picking the fights correctly. They're going to find Justino. Do they want to chase this play, though? Sejuani is going to be the front line for their team, but cannot find a good fight right there as Fart goes for a possible reset. Just going to clear out the blue team jungle and continue to starve this blue team of resources and gold.
Yeah, we have heard from production that Senna has hit 70 stats, which is very important for Trackman and Jory to be able to hit that level on this Senna. So that is good for the side of KND. We'll be able to start really laying some damage, but that is a 2-item Senna into a full 3-item Vayne, including IE.
Oh, great play there. Pegasus catches out Dodo, Bobby, Justino there. Dodo, Bobby, you must type the red team. Top going to land on 2 of them. A great storm as well. Horn going to call the board job. Good knockup onto the 20. Dawning Shadow connects onto the Karma. Justino trying to find the Karma. A big shield, though, on the 36 sweaters keeps him alive. And Justino now chasing after Dodo. Bobby, can he find the Wither? Does not have Ghost, so doesn't have the speed. It looks like Sejuani gets away with the well-timed dash. And blue team, a good attempt right there to find a fight, but walk away empty-handed as Super Spence continues to push. Good pull onto Sejuani, onto Lissandra, little slam, little damage, and another reset possibly.
Yeah, just trying to chew through the Sejuani is just so immense. The nice encore into the Call of the Forge God is so much great CC, and the Dawning Shadow does quite a bit, but Justino, like you said, just does not have the speed to catch up to 36 sweaters with this Karma speed up.
And another fight here in the mid lane. Is Justino going to get caught out by the red squad? Shia LaBeouf doing their job as a tank killer. Infinity Edge finish. Essence finished. Stormrazor finished. That is a strong Vayne as they find another hook right now. Senna in trouble. The Sejuani dives in. The CC is going to land. Shia LaBeouf gets there second. 36 sweaters finds a kill. And 2 dead on KND. This might be the final push. Mordekaiser going to bring Pegasus into the realm of death. Seraphine trying to run away, but she does not have an escape. The slam connects. And it is just the Ornn left. He is trying to survive. The CC is just too much. He's going to dash away, but that's going to leave his towers defenseless as the red team pulling a wave, pulling some damage. The towers look low. Ladies and gentlemen, Fart Esports looking to take game number 2.
I think it's pretty decided. I mean, there's one tower, half a tower left in a Nexus, and I don't think Massis and Ornn are going to be able to do it.
Senna back in 3 seconds. The Nexus is getting hit right now. Nass is on the outside edge, but cannot provide support. And that's going to be it. Fart Esports punch their ticket to the semifinals.
An underdog story. I mean, truly, Fart Esports coming out of the woodwork here, all the way into playoffs, taking down one of the most dominant teams this season in what felt like easily without even breaking a sweat. Incredible showing here by Fart Esports. And like, even though 36 Sweaters did not have a lot of kills, the amount of pressure this Karma provided was immense. Shaya, obviously incredible performance on Vayne. Coke Monkey really proving producers wrong about their performance on Nautilus. Dodo Bobby on the Sejuani was just absolutely incredible. Fantastic assist there. And also Super Spence, 5-0. Well done to the side of Fart Esports. Fantastic win here into quarterfinals. And I mean, Cal, first time seeing Doran's quarterfinals. How are you feeling about semifinals if this is what we got in quarters?
I am so excited for semifinals. I'm obviously excited to see Fart Esports play again, see if anyone can take down this powerhouse team. And like we said, big shout out to Coke Monkey as well. I know Bex was talking about we had our hesitancy when they picked the Nautilus, whether or not it was going to work out. But I'm a big believer. I'm not a huge KDA player, but when it comes to supports, I do think KDA is important. I want you helping your team more than hurting your team. And that 0, 1, and 13 stat line is quite a number for that Nautilus to have. So great job by Coke Monkey. Great job by the entire Fart team. And KND, they gave him a run for the money. But Fart is just a juggernaut right now that is tough to take down. And we actually are lucky enough to have one of those juggernauts joining us here in the caster's booth. It's going to be 36 Sweaters. An absolute powerhouse performance on both the games, the Smolder and the Karma coming in massive. 36 Sweaters. Are you here joining us, big dog? We are going to get him in here in just 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. But a great matchup. I hope you guys enjoyed the fun. I know I did.
Can we bring to fall the giants? 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 We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the
All right, folks, we are back and we are joined here by 36 Sweaters. First off, 36 Sweaters, congratulations on a great quarterfinals victory, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, I got myself a question for you, my friend. I noticed a little bit of a difference with that game 1, game 2 mentality with your team. Game 1, you guys still had control of the game, but a few times you lost it, and it seems like you lost it because you were overly aggressive. Game number 2, you didn't seem to make that same mistake. Is that something that you guys noticed? Did you talk about that in the in-between?
I mean, a little bit. I guess that when we were going from game 1 to game 2, game 1 was we were never really in danger the whole time. We were just kind of ahead. And but when we did die, it was because we just overstepped a little bit. So I don't think it was necessarily a difference in mentality, but more a difference in the comp. We just couldn't do it the same way with what we had.
That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure it makes sense. Well, you guys made it work. And like we said, here at the Castle booth, we felt like you guys were in control for the majority of game 1. But there were a few moments where it seems like KND maybe had an opportunity to take control of the game. Unfortunately, just could not pull it out. You guys were just a wall they could not push through.
Yeah, we entered a little bit on one of the drag fights, but other than that, for the most part, we were pretty in control. I was really happy to be on the Smolder and just sit back, get all my CS, get my stacks, and then we just win.
It was a lot of CS.
Yeah, I think that is the most CS I have ever had in a game. 9.5 CS a minute. I was pretty proud of
It
myself.
was 12 at one point.
It was 12 at one point?
Yeah, you were well above the number as far as it was like
Woo!
minute 13 and you were like 150.
That's epic. I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
Well, first of all, like Cal said, congratulations. What an incredible win, right, over K&D. Now, coming into today, I mean, K&D had been nearly undefeated coming into playoffs. So what was y'all's mentality coming into this game?
Our mentality was that we're better. No,
Hey, confidence.
Fair?
the original series versus K&D was actually really close. There were a lot of times where we could have won. We don't talk about my Aurora game because it was disgusting. But other than that, like we were really close, and there were just a couple things we needed to iron out. We kind of inted our drafts that first series. Our first game draft was just kind of not great, and then there was a lot of other things we had to iron out, but I feel like we've gotten a really good feel on what we do as a team. And having Shia in the bot lane is great too. He's, I mean, that guy's insane. And having that is just really good for our ability to win.
Absolutely. Speaking of draft, now, next week, if I can read it correctly, it does look like you are playing into the Glizzy Gluckers. And first of all, y'all were the only team that they lost to in regular season in week 2. So going into, into semifinals here, right? And you know that this team has some pretty wacky drafts. How confident are you feeling? Obviously, don't give away your draft strategy, but how are you feeling? What are you looking forward to in this game next week?
I'm really looking forward to laning against iLost. I think that iLost is really good, and I want to get a chance to prove myself a little bit. Other than that, though, the Glizzy Gluckers are what's a good way to say? I don't really have a good way to say it. They're a bunch of dirty inters, in my opinion. Um, they've got their drafts are completely disgusting, but the way they win the game is they just kind of like they just draw you to one side and then just pound your side lanes, and then they just slowly degrade your mental and the map state. But
That's really accurate.
so, like, I think that as long as we're not getting baited by them, because they love to hands check you, and if you let them hands check you, they're gonna win. But if we can play a good macro game, I think that we win that 2-0 easy.
All right, I like the energy here going into semifinals. You're kind of facing off against another juggernaut team here, so I love the confidence. And I think the last thing is there anything you want to say before we head off for the evening with Cal?
Yeah, I guess thanks to K&D, it was a really fun game. I've loved playing in Doran's. Being this being our first split, it's just been a whole lot of fun. So thank you guys for everything.
Hey, thank you, man, for providing the show. We loved watching you.
For sure. Thank you.
All right, guys. I believe that is it for tonight's entertainment here. And boy, was it entertaining. Fart Esports never disappoint when they play. I am so excited for some semifinal matches, for some final matches. So please come back again, guys. There are going to be games throughout the week. Some more games tomorrow, I believe, on Risen. Definitely on Wednesday as well. Franchise Leave. So always check out the channel. Leave a like. Leave a follow if you have not already followed this channel. Come on by when they are playing some good old-fashioned, organized, fun League of Legends. And Bexon, as always, I had a fantastic time with you. Thank you for joining the casting booth. I cannot wait for next week and some more games.
Absolutely. Thank you for enduring my puns, and thanks for casting with me, Cal.
They were the best. All right, guys. I am out of here tonight. You should too. As always, folks, be good or be good at it. I will see you guys next week. Thanks again.